Wait. Then over the adventures of the jungle, and after some work with the colored pencil, I succeed in making my first drawing. For drawing number 1 looked like this. I showed my masterpiece to the grown-ups and asked them whether drawing frightened them.
Frightened? Why should anyone be frightened of a hat?
My drawing was not a picture of a hat. It was a picture of a boa constrictor digesting an elephant. But since the grown-ups were not able to understand it, I made another drawing. I drew the inside of a boa constrictor so that the grown-ups could see it clearly. Their eyes need to have things explained. My drawing number 2 looked like this. The grown-ups' response this time was to advise me to lay aside my drawing of boa constrictor. The inside or the outside, and to vote myself instead of you. History, arithmetic, and grammar. That is why, at the age of 6, I gave up what might have been a magnificent career as a painter. I had been disheartened by the failure of my drawing number 1 and my drawing number 2. Grown-ups never understand anything by themselves, and it is tiresome for children to be always and forever explaining things to them. So then, I chose another profession and learned to pilot airplanes. I'm from the little over all parts of the world, and it is true that geography has been very useful to me. At a glance, I can distinguish China from Arizona. If one gets lost in the night, such knowledge is valuable. In the course of this life, I have a great many encounters with great many people who have been concerned with matters of consequence. I have lived a great deal among grown-ups. I have seen them intimately close at hand, and that hasn't much improved my opinion of them. Whenever I met one of them who seemed to me at all clear-sighted, I tried to experiment of showing her my drawing number 1, which I have always kept. I would try to find out of this person of true understanding, but whoever it was, she would always say,
This is a hat.
Then I would never talk to that person about boa constrictors, or primeval forests, or stars. I would bring myself down to her level. I would talk to him about bridge and golf and politics and neckties. Grown-up would be greatly pleased to have such a sensible man. So I lived my life alone, without anyone that could really talk to, until an accident with my plane in the desert of Sahara 6 years ago. Something was broken in my engine, and as had me neither a mechanic or any passengers, sent myself to attempt the difficult repairs all alone. It was a question of life or death for me. I had scarcely enough drinking water to last a week. The first night, when I went to sleep, was soon 1,000 miles from any human habitation. It was more isolated than a shipwrecked sailor on a raft in the middle of the ocean. Thus you can imagine my amazement at sunrise when I was awakened by an odd little voice. It said,
She yelled, "Draw me a sheep."
what? But I had never drawn a sheep, so I drew for him one of the 2 pictures I had drawn so often. It was that of the boa constrictor from the outside. It was that of the boa constrictor from the outside. And I was astounded to hear the little fellow greet it with, "No, no, no. I do not want an elephant. Instead of boa constrictor. What I need is a sheep." So then I made a drawing. She looked at it carefully, then she said, "This one is too old. I want a sheep that will live a long time." By this time, my patients were exhausted because I was in a hurry to start taking my engine apart. So I tossed off this drawing. And I threw out an explanation with it. "This is only her box. The sheep you asked for is inside." I was very surprised to see a light break over the face of my young judge. That's what I wanted. And that is how I made the acquaintance of the little princess. Intermission.